Some people may not like this, but I've got to start this video off by congratulating Sean Marks for having the biggest pair of balls in the entire NBA and putting his foot down on this Kyrie Irving situation. I'm actually shocked. I never, ever would have expected an NBA GM to have the guts to do what Marks just did, and basically said if Kyrie Irving is not going to get vaccinated, he is not going to be a functional member of the Brooklyn Nets. He is not going to play in any games, not just home games. He is not going to play with the team at all this season. He is not going to practice with the team at all. He is not going to do anything that may be putting his teammates and the rest of the league in danger because of his stubbornness. I freaking applaud this, alright? And Mark said it perfectly. It's Kyrie's personal decision, which is absolutely true. If he doesn't want to get vaccinated, that's his decision. However, he's not going to be getting paid, and he's not going to be endangering anyone else because of his own personal ideals. I think this is brilliant. I love it. Now, with that out of the way, we've got to look at the rest of this Brooklyn Nets team, because all of a sudden, this team, which everyone has been saying, and look, I was with it. I was not with it last season. This season, I was like, all right, if this team's healthy, they're it. Like, I saw what KD and an injured James Harden could do last year in the playoffs. They added depth. They added defense. They improved from last year significantly. They seriously got better. I was like, all right, if the big three's healthy, I mean, that's kind of it. It's over. It's over for everybody else. But this is a blessing for the NBA. Now, I don't like Kyrie Irving. I don't like the Brooklyn Nets, but my ideal solution to any NBA problematic situation with a super team is never to just have one player be hurt or be out of commission. I prefer to see these teams get beaten in a 2011 Dirk Nowitzki making LeBron James cry kind of way. I like to see these super teams fall at their peak to an underdog. That's what I prefer. That's the kind of storyline I frickin' love. But as an NBA fan overall, and one who didn't see a very clear method to beating a healthy Brooklyn Nets team, I think this is an absolute blessing for the NBA. To have Kyrie out of there, the Brooklyn Nets are still a phenomenal team. You have James Harden and Kevin Durant, two MVP candidates, two top 10 players who can absolutely be the best player on a championship team. Yes, James Harden has had some playoff struggles, but I think that's more on coaching and play style than actual talent. He clearly has the talent to be the best player on a championship team. They've got defense, they've got depth, they've still got shooting on this team. This is a very, very good team, and you can make the argument that they should still be the title favorites this season. They got LaMarcus Aldridge back. Blake Griffin looked real good last year. Nicholas Claxton, Bruce Brown, great defenders. Patty Mills may be a six-man of the year candidate, although he very well may start now with Kyrie Irving not playing. And in that case, he's a, quality starting player. Joe Harris is a sniper. You all know what he does. And Paul Millsap can still give you some good minutes off the bench. By the way, if you're wondering about my voice, I am recovering from being sick. It's why I haven't made a video in a while. My throat's still a little bit raw, but I had to get this video out today. Hopefully I'm feeling all the way better by my other video I make this week. Anyway, moving on. This team is deep. Not like deep, not like, super deep or anything, but they have legitimate depth. This is not a shallow team that's just a big three and Joe Harris like they were pretty much last year. This team has legitimate depth. Their defense has improved. Their offense, off the bench at least, has improved. This is going to be a phenomenal team, and if you think they're still the title favorite, I can't argue with you. Now, we gotta wait and see. Kevin Durant, James Harden, several other guys in the team are still injury risks. That's always going to be a factor for this team. We gotta wait and see if there's any kind of weird chemistry situations going on because of all the Kyrie Irving drama. You just never really know how a situation like this is going to impact the team as a whole. Even if Kyrie's out of there, different players may have different opinions on it. It could cause some infighting. You've got a lot of big egos on this team, for sure, which was something one of the reasons I doubted them last season. But, I'm not going to sit there and pretend that, that's something I'm going to put money on, In infighting, I honestly put a little too much stake in it last season, and it's not something you should ever bet a team falling apart on. Certainly not with as little evidence as we have so far. We have no reason to believe that, James Harden and Kevin Durant, at least, don't get along just fine on and off the court. This team's going to be very, very good, but for the league as a whole, this is amazing. Parity has returned for this season. Yeah, the Nets are great, but all the other teams still have a chance. If you're the Lakers or the Bucks or the Suns or whatever other team you may be with legitimate title hopes, you still have those. You can still compete. This can still be a competitive season. We don't know who's going to win the title. I am so freaking excited. I'm so freaking excited as an NBA fan. I'm incredibly excited. I'm just kind of rambling. Like, I got off class, just came, had to make this video. I've got something to do later tonight, so I didn't have time to, like, write out the script. I mean, I don't usually write a full script, but, you know, I usually plot out my ideas a little more than I did today. Anything else to cover? I think I got to talk about Kyrie and Ben Simmons. Everyone seems to want this trade to happen, and I think everyone, at least on the Sixers side of this, is an idiot. Obviously, for the Nets, if you get Ben Simmons for Kyrie Irving, I mean, once again, you become a super team. I'm sorry, but you have arguably the second and third best offensive players in the league in KD and Harden, and also, very arguably, the first and second best scorers in the league in those two dudes, combined with Defensive Player of the Year, super versatile playmaker in Ben Simmons, in a situation where he does not need to score the ball at all. That is a match made in heaven for the Nets, and I would hate that, because Ben Simmons does not deserve to go somewhere, after all this crap he's pulled, he does not deserve to go somewhere where he's in a perfect situation, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm bitter. Sorry. However, for the Sixers, this is a terrible situation. There's literally only one head case in the league who is worse than Ben Simmons, and it's Kyrie Irving. Please, 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 I'm sure Daryl Morey's not going to do it, but please, God, don't let Kyrie Irving come to my team and muck it up with his, I don't even know what to call it, his absurdities, his oddities, his complete lack of any seeming brain function outside of, you know, being a really good basketball player. The dude is a nutcase. I do not want him on my team. He said he may retire if he gets traded, so I don't want to get rid of Ben Simmons for literally nothing. And even if he does quote-unquote play, he can't play Cali teams, he can't play New York teams in the playoffs, okay? He can't, who knows when he's going to show up. He's always skipping games. I don't want Kyrie Irving on my team. Theoretically, on the court fit, Kyrie Irving and Joel Embiid are amazing together. Kyrie would be a perfect pairing. But mentally, I do not want that whack job on my team. Please do not let him get traded here, Lord. I would be very unhappy. Very, very unhappy. Ben Simmons came back to Philly. I don't know what that situation's going to be like. I'm still really hoping we trade him for someone like maybe a CJ McCollum, Robert Covington duo for Ben Simmons. I'd be happy with that. I would not be happy with Kyrie Irving. So that's my opinion on that. I'm not going to make a full video on it, just putting it in here now. And yeah, if you're really still here through all this rambling I've done, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Feeling a little bit better. Hopefully I'm all the way better in another day or two, and I'm able to start making videos semi-consistently once again.